We can put
Watch me. I can just watch it on my phone, you know. Hey, common sense is a wow, it's a lost art.
It's not common that. Minister, what's going on?
Good afternoon, Minister. What's up?
How's everybody doing?
Doing
Everybody's
well.
good.
How are you?
Michaela looks
gosh.
good. Carmen, you look good too.
Yeah?
You guys,
I'm trying something.
You look alright. Just kidding.
seems it's been a good year.
Ah, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's been a good year so
Yo,
far.
way to drop that. Drop the mic on that from the beginning.
Congratulations,
Drop
I
the
must
mask.
say, on your government, on your first year in office. And I thought that you would have brought some cake and stuff like that for us to celebrate today.
Well, I'm treating you just as HJ treated me for your 8-year celebration.
Wait, what happened?
Yo.
We never got cake.
You never got cake.
We never got cake.
You
We
didn't
heard
give the
that there was
minister
a-
cake?
We heard that they
Wow.
had like big
They had a
cake
cake?
celebration there.
Yeah, they had a cake. They always
know?
HJ is a cake loving company. They
And-
always have cake.
And
Please
they,
be-
and
please
they,
be- uh-huh.
and they look it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm working on that part of it. Okay.
Yo, so you see, we got Facebook people. You see, you got people laughing about this cake today, Minister.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just before we go to the minister, because I would like to hear his take on a few of these as well.
Oh, yes.
Then we get into the entertainment report.
The
Because,
entertainment report with the honorable minister.
and let's get some takes. So what we talking about first and foremost?
Shansia. Are you a fan of Shansia, minister?
Major fan.
Ooh.
Major fan.
Man, he didn't even
Yeah.
hesitate on that one. So
Major fan.
which song of Shansia's do you gravitate towards?
She's a beautiful woman.
She
I
is.
don't think you gravitate to the songs.
Yeah, I don't gravitate to only the songs.
Okay, alright, okay.
Beautiful
It's a
woman.
lot of testosterone on the mic right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so Elaine Thompson-Herah, of course, won the 100 meters and the 200 meters.
Yeah.
She repeated.
So the race, in fact, I think she is now the only
female.
Yes.
to have
To repeat.
double repeat.
Exactly.
Yeah, double repeat.
So double repeat.
Exactly.
So 1, 2, and then second Olympics, consecutive Olympics.
Exactly.
Second fastest woman in history.
There you go. So she said, you know, that she had Shansia's song Run, Run, Run in her head. And then she put that out there. And now people are accusing Shansia of paying Elaine Thompson-Herah to say that. Which we all, well, Karen and I discussed this prior to you coming on.
I don't see a problem with that either.
I mean, I don't see a problem
The
with it.
Olympic is like the biggest stage, so I mean, if you're gonna pay for that, what's the problem?
Yeah,
So-
but she said it wasn't. She said that she just had it in her head, and that's what she kept saying to herself.
What's the accusation?
That she promoted, she paid Elaine to say that she had it in her head, or that, you know, just to
That's
promote
the song that motivated her.
it. Exactly.
Right. So every movie you watch,
Mm-hmm.
there's something called product placement.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Every movie.
Yeah,
Right.
and everything on TV, not just
Yeah.
every movie, everything on TV.
And so if that's what she did,
That's right. That's what we said.
such a good idea.
Exactly.
You know, that's some good ambush marketing.
Of course it is. Of course.
Sensible, but leaving that to one side, I mean, you listen to, you'd see a lot of the athletes
Mhm.
try to go into a zone.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I know that. I mean, being a former athlete.
Oh wow.
So,
Of what? Cake eating contest?
so we got two versions here now with HJ, right? Ball serving. We got one that's a clap leap,
A collaborate.
and then there's
Wow. Yes.
and then there's one that's a fat leap.
Oh wow. Ooh.
I didn't reach a athlete, I can say that.
I'm
I
not
can
calling
say that.
Man,
names.
we're just dropping maps
I'm
or
not-
dropping
no,
mics
no,
today.
no,
I'm not
Okay.
calling names.
Yeah.
Okay. Clap leap and a fat leap. Okay. All
I,
right.
I know where I fall into that because I'm a very fit person, I must say.
I'm trying to get fit again. Anyways, are we going?
Moving on to the next story before we ask the minister about
Okay.
his first year in office.
All right. So Rolling Stone has named "Formation" by Beyonce as the best music video of all time, which I find to be, again, absolutely ludicrous. Because have we seen Thriller by Michael Jackson? Which, according to myself, my very humble opinion, is the best music video of all
probably.
time. Yeah.
Let me just say this for a lot of people who don't know that the minister is very into videos.
He's into music.
Well, not just
Well, he
music,
used
but
to be.
videos, trust me.
Okay. All right.
So I know that he looks at video from a very critical eye.
Okay.
So I would like to ask the minister, which is your favorite music video? Or you would say the best music video?
Yeah, it's hard to have the best in videos when it comes, because they come from different dimensions, they have different
That's a fair point.
styles and
That's being politically correct, just saying.
Well, and you can have a
That's
personal
also true,
best, right? You
Right.
can have a
My personal best is Michael Jackson's.
And I would, if I were to choose one, I'd probably
Yeah.
go with that. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that, but
I mean,
that's
I still
amazing.
feel like Thriller is still the best video ever.
During that time, Michael used to do the best videos.
Best video.
You remember,
Exactly.
remember Bat?
Exactly.
Yes.
Bat? Do you
yes.
remember the one where he did the claymation figures?
Oh.
You know what's a good one too? The Earth song.
Speed Demon.
Speed Demon. Oh.
Speed Demon, you're the best.
Yeah.
No, watch
You
your
got some
boy.
vocals on one boy.
Yo, TGIF Fridays.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I like the
Right,
Earth song
sounds
video as well. The Earth song video is very
Yes,
good.
Yeah, that's it.
Michael Jackson was just fantastic.
Yeah,
And I
so-
think
so-
Thriller just took it to, like you said, another dimension, and it was the first of its kind to really, incorporate so many different elements. And I think it really just transformed the music video scene. So Formation, I mean, I enjoyed it, but the best of all time, definitely not.
So this is the final story, and I really want to hear the minister's opinion
Because
on
we're
this.
gonna get here too.
Because, yeah.
So CNN has fired 3 employees for coming to work unvaccinated. So the CEO says there's a zero tolerance policy for reporting to the office without COVID-19 vaccinations. Minister, how do you feel about this?
And this is CNN, right?
CNN in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people are torn about this when it comes to the ones who are vaccinated and the ones who are not vaccinated. And I've had a long discussion with many people who don't share the view about vaccination. I'm fully vaccinated. I was
Yes.
fully vaccinated, or I had my first vaccine maybe about four months ago. There's no one that can tell you that, is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no one that can tell you what's the alternative to this. Like if they can
That's a
see
very valid point.
what is the end game out of COVID, in the absence of vaccination, that's one. 2, there has been no one in Guyana who has died from COVID who's been fully vaccinated.
And I think we need to push that a bit more, because if you read comments, people are under the assumption that people are getting vaccinated and still dying.
Yeah.
And I think that piece of information is very vital.
When I heard that point, it was so convincing that no one has died from COVID who's
Right.
been fully vaccinated.
So people, if you're listening, please tell your friends, tell your family that no one has died from COVID if they've been fully vaccinated. And I've seen this comment several times, even up to a post on Gordon's page today. People were talking about it, and I was like, but that's not true. So it's good to hear it from you.
And then there are a couple other points that I'd want to raise. I mean, one is people are concerned that they're being experimented with
Yes.
when the experimenter is not the one that is taking the vaccine. Everyone who is saying take the vaccine, they're vaccinated. So who is saying take the vaccine, I'm saying
And you're
take the
vaccinated.
vaccine, I'm
Fully vaccinated. You're fully
Fully
vaccinated,
vaccinated.
Karen?
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
fully vaccinated too, so we have 3 people who've taken the vaccine and we're
Yeah.
all just fine.
Okay.
And you're fully
And then-
vaccinated too?
Then the other
I
part,
am.
Exactly.
then the other part is some people have concerns about what would be some of the side effects of taking the vaccine. There's been about 200 plus million people in the United States of America who's now vaccinated.
Yeah, their percentages are steadily climbing once again because of the fact that this Delta variant
Right.
is rampant, especially in Florida, which is now the epicenter.
Right.
Yeah.
So, their rates are again going back up, so
But
that's great.
If they're concerned though about the side effects, then we've had 200 plus million people who have been vaccinated and they haven't had these side effects.
Yeah.
In Guyana, for example, it's been about 265,000 people or so who has been vaccinated, and that's the majority of the adult population. Right?
Oh.
It's over 55% of the
Adult population.
But Region 4's percentage is somewhat low-ish, isn't it? From last, that I saw somewhere?
I haven't seen the disaggregated figures as of recent that
Okay.
would give me enough information to conclude that or to affirm it.
Right.
But what I can say is that if you have the vast majority or the majority of adult persons in Guyana who are vaccinated and they haven't suffered any side effects, and guess what, they're not dying, then what's the problem? The fact is that there's no one in Guyana who has not been vaccinated. They may have not been vaccinated for COVID, but from the moment that you're born in this country, you've got to take vaccines.
And that's another very good point. As soon as you go to school, you've got to take these vaccines.
Yes.
We went to the same school,
Yeah.
right?
So I met with the Minister of Health, and he said that to me, like, you know, parents will take their babies for the vaccines without even asking a question.
Absolutely.
You know,
That's, I also find that to be very strange.
And guess what? You know, it's people want to be safe, right? So they want to know that if they're taking the vaccine and they're safe, they want to know that you're safe too. So the stricter those requirements are coming in, they're coming in because they want to know that they can get back to life as per normal, and they don't see you as being somebody that's being responsible. I've said this to people that I know and that may not have been convinced that yes, you care about people, but other people care about you too.
right.
And it's you don't have a right to hurt people that way.
Right, exactly.
All right. So, Minister, it's your
We have
government.
Kashif watching, by the way.
Kashif, shout out to you.
Kashif is a good-looking big man body.
Who is this? Jesus Christ.
He is.
Anyhow, so Minister, like I said, it is your government's first year in government,
Woohoo!
and we want to talk a
No
little
cake,
bit.
though. No cake. It's
Yeah,
all
we
right.
haven't gotten any cake
No
either.
cake for HJ.
Oh.
We got
So you're
cake.
saying that you guys have
We
cake?
Listen.
got cake,
we
but
go-
we don't have
we
no
go-
cake for AJ.
We go way back, right?
I think I may have the president's number. I'm not too certain.
Wow. Well, I don't, so I would like some cake.
But let us talk about your ministry and what you've been doing in the first year. I think you can easily say that, you know, the Ministry of Culture and Sport has been one of the ministries
Y'all
in terms
popping
of
over there,
very
man.
popping. I mean, what do you expect as a culture ministry? So
It's
it
not
should be
always.
popping.
It's not always popping.
Okay.
Let's be real.
So Minister, how was your or how was the first year?
What would you rate yourself?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm not here to rate myself. I'm here to just say thank you.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm here to say thank you to
That was good.
all the support
That was very good. Very humble.
we've been given for the entire year. It's been an interesting and exciting journey so far. We've done for the culture side
Yeah.
of what we do at the ministry, we've done 18 events
Wow.
and one
In the last year.
in the last year, 18
Fantastic.
events, and so good has been the production for those events that you can take those events, the actual
Recordings,
production,
yeah.
recordings, and take it to anywhere in the world, and it wouldn't be out of place in terms of quality, in terms of presentation. It's really taking Guyana to a place where we're doing things that we can be proud of, and it's really allowing us to hold our head high about what we're doing and what we want to do. So I think and this is not something that has been done by the ministry before too, right?
And to achieve this in the first year, I think is remarkable.
It is.
Well-
So what's going to be happening in the next year or the
Well-
next several years?
Well, before I get to that,
Mhm.
what's been a key component for us to be able to do that is just building strong teams and building a strong culture within the organization and the ministry. So, you know, when we got there, the ministry was basically non-existent. You know, it wasn't even a real ministry. It was ministries within ministries and departments within ministries and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, we had to resuscitate it. And when we got in there too, there was a lot of like infighting. People didn't respect various tiers of leadership. So there wasn't strong cooperation within the ministry. So we were able to really get that good culture, that good work culture going. Now there's a lot of respect, there's a lot of, there's safety in the ministry too, and people they understand that there's a structure, they understand that they're working towards one goal and common objective, and as a result, we've been able to really build a lot of good relationships within the ministry. So we've helped to really develop a culture that emphasizes productivity and high performance and high standards, And that's one of the reasons why you've seen so much coming out of the ministry. On the sports side, we've done some really significant things that I thought that.
Kerwin said y'all are getting messy for the Golden Jaguars. This is he said yesterday. He said we're oil and gas country now. We can afford it. So he said that he shouted you out yesterday.
Yeah.
Are we getting messy for the Golden Jags?
Well, what I'm very pleased about is that we've been able to build strong relationships with all the sports associations and federations, and what's been significant. So we've been able to build that trust, first of all, and build that environment of collaboration and cooperation. And I'm sure that you're going to have people at some point that will come, and you'll have them come on your show and they'll talk to you, and you'll ask them, I'm sure you will at some point, you'll ask them about what's their relationship like with the ministry, and they'll tell you that they've never seen a minister as much as they have seen me, right? They'll say that they've never been able to meet a minister as much as they've been able to meet me, and that is something that's very important to me, where we have that strong relationship.
Yeah, you're like a grassroots minister, it feels like, because you're always out there, you're always meeting with the people, you're very accessible.
Well, I do that on the weekends. I've got a lot of paperwork and
stuff.
important stuff to do during that's why I'm a little bit late today, but got a lot of important work to do
Kerwin called you out.
during the week. I heard, I was driving.
I called you out too.
I was on the way. But we do that on the weekends, so.
So what's the plan this weekend?
We're running up to Burbies.
Okay.
So over the last couple of weeks, so you've been seeing me pay a lot of attention to community grounds, more than it's ever really been paid to before.
Right.
And usually it used to be that we would do, governments would do small allocations to grounds, and I found that if you do small allocations to grounds without being very deliberate about where you want to see these grounds go, the money will be lost. And so the president, the cabinet decided that let's do larger allocations, and let's be very deliberate about what we do. And so I've spent the last couple of few weeks or so, focusing on the design and the procurement side of it, which takes a little bit of time.
And paperwork.
A lot of these things have to advertise and go through a tendering process and evaluation and all that kind of stuff. So these systems are here just to try to make sure that money is being spent safely and not being stolen. So, but it also slows things down.
Right.
So I've spent the last few weeks just kind of really focusing on making sure that the procurement side of our projects for community grounds are heading in the right direction. Luckily it is, and so now we move into execution. So projects have been awarded and all that kind of stuff. So we need to make sure that when we start this phase of it, the phase of it is about implementation and execution of projects, and knowing that the quality of work is being done to the highest and with the highest expectations, but also highest delivery. That's what we're doing also with our public facilities that are connected to the ministry, which the ministry owns. So, and that very soon you'll see that we'll be doing a number of projects at the National Stadium too, to turn it into a multi-purpose facility.
Awesome.
So
Finally.
I'm meeting the Basketball Association and the Federation tomorrow.
Yeah.
At the National Stadium at 4.
Perfect.
At 4. So
So you're doing that and Burbies as well?
That's tomorrow, and on Sunday we're going up to Burbies.
Okay, so you have a busy weekend ahead of you.
We're gonna have, for the rest of the year, it's gonna be pretty busy. But I'm trying to focus a lot more on, for when it comes to our community engagement now, it's about implementation. So the first part of it was to do the assessment. The second part is to assess the needs and do the design that you think that would be important to allocate resources so that you can meet those needs. But then the other part is, now you've got to move and implement, right? Execute.
And sometimes that's the most difficult part of the process, the implementation and the execution.
Yeah, making sure that everything goes as planned.
And it's nationwide, and sometimes little changes to projects can make big differences. And I've seen that because we've been doing quite a few projects to our public facilities that are owned by the ministry, and owned and controlled by the ministry, and we've made some changes along the way that maybe not so significant, but it's significant in terms of its result and how it's used and designed, etc.
So we have Shankar Diodat who says, this guy shall make a perfect president in the future.
I'm not thinking about that. I'm focusing on.
I'm focused, man.
Yeah,
I'm focused, man.
you've got an excellent president, and he's doing everything that I need to do to see execute his vision.
There you go.
Nice, nice people. 1 year, young minister.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, wow. I haven't got that though.
So today's full talent search operation.
Full down search. So
I can't sing,
I
right?
sang, you sang.
Everyone sing.
The only person left to sing now
Only-
is Critic and Gama and Sunil and,
Yeah.
Corwin, right?
Current sing.
But I'm the only certified artist in here, so
Oh
I mean,
wow! Oh
certified.
yes, that's he has a music video.
You know, the only certified. You know what I mean? Number one selling song in Ghana, so you know what I mean. So remix.
Wait, let me find it.
Listen, stop it.
Please don't.
No, it's fantastic.
It's TGIF. Let's not ruin it. Come on.
No, it's perfect for the weekend. It's
Yo,
so
yo, Minister. In closing, anything else would you want to say
I just want to say, thanks mainly because when I came in, not everybody was happy. Some people were happy, some people weren't. Some people were on the fence. Over this period of time, I think I've been coming here like once a month basically to update the public, but I've been doing that as well through our Facebook page and through the media, just
through your own personal
through
Facebook
my own
page.
personal Facebook page, which all of which has a really wide reach. And part of what you do in a public office is to keep the public in the loop, and public communication is a really important part of that. So I've been doing that here at this radio because I know the HJ has got a wide reach too.
But you've been doing this even before you're in office, so
That's true.
So you know you're always family here, so.
He's a smart guy.
Strong
He
words.
knows what to do.
But it's I've been doing that, and over this year, I think the proof of the pudding is always in the eating. And
I'm hungry.
when you you're not pregnant anymore.
This girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I can't eat because I'm not pregnant.
No pudding. So but yeah, it's I think over the year people
Yeah.
have been able to see, okay, you can talk a good game, but are you really
Can you walk that walk?
Yeah, are you capable of putting that into action? And most people have been able to do their own assessment, and we've been able to build a lot of trust and confidence over the year in what we're doing in the areas of responsibility that we have on behalf of the government of Guyana, on behalf of the president, and I think that for the ones who are still skeptical, I think there's a lot more in store. And hopefully we'll be able to convince you over that period of time. There's some people who will never be able to convince.
Definitely not.
They'll hate you from the get-go just because you're associated with any particular group that's not their group. But
Yeah.
I want them to know that when the race is over, I said this at the beginning, when the race of the election is over, you've gotta come together in close rank and
Yeah, there's no party anymore.
move the direction forward for the country.
For the country,
If you
exactly.
don't-
So we can all benefit.
You have leadership, right? You have leadership. That's why you go through an election. You go through the election. You accept the leadership. The leadership takes you in the right direction. It takes you in a direction. Over time, it determines whether it's right or wrong.
Okay.
So I don't know how much time we're
We're
we
over
running out of time.
Yeah.
I want to touch on this real quick because it's an important point to support the point I was making.
Okay.
The president, when he was opening the mall on the East Bank,
the Amazonian Mall. Yeah.
right? He went through a list of projects that we had done when we were previously in office. The Hope Canal and the Eccles housing scheme, the Diamond housing scheme, the bridge over the Forbes River, a number of projects that he made reference to. And he said during that time when it was first conceptualized and it was a public debate about things, there were a lot of people who were critical of it. There were a lot of people who attempted to stop it, right? Tried their best to stop it. And look at it now, right? You've got tens and thousands and possibly hundreds of thousands of households tens of thousands definitely of households living on the East Bank right now. So much so now we've got to build dual carriageways, double
The East Bank is like the new Guyana right now.
Yeah, you've got to build a new bridge over the Demerara River. So there are a lot of people who may disparage the direction that you go as leadership,
Right.
because they don't
Quite see the vision just yet.
not necessarily see the vision, or they may be listening to the wrong messengers.
Okay.
And you've got to be careful in life when you don't have reason to just blindly follow a messenger. But in the meantime, you have a mechanism of finding the leadership for your country. And that is through an election. But once the election is over, you've got to put your politics aside and
Put your
say,
differences aside and let's
say,
work
we just gotta
together.
work together.
you've got to
One
pull in
people,
the
one
same
nation, one
direction.
destiny.
That this is the only way it's going to work, and that this is the only way where we're going to rapidly advance. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to advance regardless. We are going to advance regardless. But we want to do this in the most civilized
Priya
way.
Prasad doesn't know what minister you are, so would you like to tell Priya Prasad?
I tell her to go and do a little bit of research.
Okay.
All right, people, this is all the time we have with your minister. It's always a pleasure having you around here. You know, you brought the entire team, you know, had remix feeling kind of shivery.
I
She
was
was like,
up
what's
shivering.
going on? What is going on here?
I was like, man, we're rolling with a whole, like, you know, we got a crew with us today.
Yeah.
We got an entourage.
Yeah. Congratulations once again to you and your government, the entire government, on your first year, and continue to do the great work that you're doing so far, sir.
Yeah, and thank you, and thank
You're so welcome.
Thank you to the public, and thank you guys for giving me the forum to be able to communicate to people, and also for being part of the team that helps with the production. And it didn't start off in being the kind of quality that it did, but it improved over time, and
there's still lots of room for improvement.
there will be always lots of room for improvement and progress, but it does require support, and it does require teamwork and
Teamwork makes the dream work.
right? And so we'd just like to say thank you for being part of the journey for the year, and we've got another 4 years to go and a lot more exciting things to do.
There you go.
All right.
You want to drop the mask one more time on them? Watch, yes! You want to see? I'm the
Shout out
favorite,
to
right?
Kashi. Shout out to Kashi.